What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. It's the morning. I totally messed that up. It's the morning after New Comic Book Day, and today I am going to talk about and review some of the comics that I picked up from my local comic book shop this week. And before we get into that, please let me know down in the comments below what was on your comic book pull list this week. Let me know down in the comments below, and we will get into a few of these comic books right here off the top. Starting off with Aftershock Comics, we've got The Heathens, issue number 5. This is the conclusion of this series being written by Cullen Bunn and Heath Amodio. It's got art by Sammy Cavella and colored by Jason Wordie and lettered by Simon Boland. You can check out all of these folks' names and check out their pictures right here. There's the different creators here on this book. And look, you also get an ad for CBCS while we're here, right? But this series has been pretty good. One thing I definitely like about this series is Sammy Cavella, and his art is really good. I like his style and things like that. The one thing I would like to see is, obviously he's probably not something that he's majorly into, is it would be great to see him do a different genre, maybe some horror, or maybe even some superhero titles, something a little bit different out of what we've seen him do, because I know I've seen him do art in like Machine Gun Wizards and Undone by Blood and several others, and they all have the same kind of I guess you would say kind of throwback era, historical kind of era figures and art in them. But the art style, I really do dig Sammy Cavilla's art style in here. Jason Wordie on colors. Jason Wordie does a lot of work with Sammy Cavella as well. As a matter of fact, I think most of those titles I just mentioned, they actually worked together. And here we've got Cullen Bunn and Heath Amodio working on the writing of this book here together, and it's something different than what we normally get out of Cullen Bunn. And I think that is largely due to Heath Amodio, the co-writer on here. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he kind of developed most of this story and started working with Cullen Bunn on this. And they have their studio that they are kind of building and working on together. And I can't remember what the name of it is. I know they've been here on the comment section here on the channel, and said thanks for reading and reviewing this series. And I've largely enjoyed this series, watching these how would you say, these anti-heroes go out there, and they're kind of out there hunting down Jack the Ripper to bring him to justice, because Jack the Ripper's out there still murdering prostitutes and things like that, but this time in the city of LA, and they're trying to get redemption to get out of hell. They are pretty much stuck in like purgatory right now. And the way this one ends up, very good. And again, I've said this before on the last review, is I need to go back and read the first couple of issues of this series again, just before I do a full review of it. But I have enjoyed the story and the art team on this one very much. But let me know down in the comments below if you have read The Heathens and what you think about it. And I'll move right on here to the next book that I've got here on Aftershock Comics. And this is My Date with Monsters, issue number 5. This is the conclusion of this series, being written by Paul Tobin with art by Andy McDonald. It's got colors by DJ Chavis, and the letterer is Taylor Esposito. I will show you those names of creators. And once again, another ad right there for you to check out. Now, if you haven't ever read a Paul Tobin book, you may not have a feel for his kind of storytelling. He kind of tells these horror monster stories that are kind of silly and quirky at the same time. He definitely kind of has his brand of humor, and it's no different here in My Date with Monsters, where we have these monsters that are kind of coming through these portals when people fall asleep, and they are killing them, and we kind of figure out what the motivations of those monsters are in this particular issue, why they are kind of coming through here. and what we're going to do to kind of stop that. Because what they had done was they developed these pills so people would stop having dreams. Coincidentally, the person creating the pills was the person whose fault it is that the dreams, monsters are coming out of dreams. And here we've, like, there's some weird kind of creepy things going on in this book. I thought from issue one, I was like, wait a minute, like, what? And throughout the past couple of issues, they kind of made like the other characters kind of finally started realizing that. I'm like, okay, like as long as I'm not the only one that's weirded out by the government having a branch of the military training people to try to get in this woman's panties and bed this woman. I thought it was a little weird. But here we get the conclusion of this book, and I thought it was pretty good. And it ends in that kind of, I don't know, I guess a weird, quirky way that you would kind of expect out of a Paul Tobin story, I guess. Altogether, I've enjoyed this series. I have no real complaints about it, other than, like I said, it's silly and quirky, and maybe not everybody's into that. But you definitely know if you've read a Paul Tobin book in the past. But let me know down in the comments below if you have read My Date with Monsters and what you think about it. We'll go ahead and we'll get into this next book that I have here. On Image Comics are these next couple. And starting off, we've got Radiant Black issue number 13, and this one actually has the full team returning here on the story and the art. I know they've kind of switched it up a little bit. Written by Kyle Higgins, art by Marcelo Costa, colors by Raul Angulo, and lettered by Becca Carey. I will show you those names, and you don't have to see an ad in this one, but you can see a little bit of the art style in this book. And I will tell you, one of the things I definitely like about this book is the art style. I like Marcelo Costa's art in here, and here in issue number 13 is really kind of, it feels like one of the first ones we've got since all of the other books have been tying into this super massive universe, or what are they calling it, the massive verse, where we've had like Rogue Sun coming out, we've had Radiant Red, and they've got other books coming as well. They had Supermassive, which I believe was a one-shot. And we're kind of getting back into the life here of what was our main character, Nathan, as he gets out of the hospital and settles back into his life. And you can see that he obviously has, there has been some distance between him and his friend who took over the suit, whose name is escaping me right now. And we also see that there is still these other, what we got introduced in one of the last issues as well, where there's these other people out there who are making technology and suits based on, that basically get powered by being the radiance and the kind of energy that they emit. And we get a little bit more into that story here as well. Now, they have been, as I said, releasing other stories in this universe, and I gotta say, I like the way that a lot of it has kind of been going out there and kind of expanding this universe here in the Radiant Black series. I'll show you a little bit more of the art here in this book. Like I said, I think the art in this book and everything has been really good. The art and the coloring, the story, the way it's been going, I've quite enjoyed kind of just the way it's kind of slowly unfolded this world of Radiant Black to us. But let me know down in the comments below if you have been reading Radiant Black and what you think about it. I'll move on to this next book, which is another part of the Radiant Black universe. This is Rogue Sun issue number 2. This book being written by Ryan Parrott. It's got art by Abel, colors by Chris O'Halloran, and lettered by Becca Carey. Colors by Abel, Marco Renna, and Chris Sotomayor. I'll show you those names right there where you can check that out. And a little bit of the art in this book. Oh, it looks like I got a little too bright there. I can see that. I can see it telling me on the camera there. But in this series right here, we've last issue we met Dylan, this young man who ended up getting kind of how would you say, entrusted with these powers, this ring that makes him this hero, Rogue Sun, and he has this suit that he wears, and he has to now go out and not fight crime, but fight against these other creatures, these other beings from other planets that are basically protecting the Earth. And we see in how this kind of tied in through Supermassive and then into issue number 1 where we met our main character Dylan and learned just a little bit of their family history and background. And here we get a little bit more of that in Rogue Sun issue number 2 as we see that Dylan has the suit. He's going out there. He is being attacked by this werewolf, and he's sitting there having to fight this werewolf there in the air, like I just showed you a minute ago. And all the while, he's got his Force Ghost spirit father there, kind of guiding him along the way. And that's kind of obviously something that's going to be kind of happening throughout this series, as we also get into a little bit more of the family drama between Dylan and his other family that he didn't know about. And we also see that his father really kind of neglected them as much as he did him, which I'm not saying that makes him feel better, but I mean, I think he kind of realized, like, okay, like, I guess my father was a real piece of shit. But they're also all trying to learn to get along because they obviously never, for one, the two families of kids never knew about each other. And the father obviously kept them distanced for probably a reason, like maybe because he was a superhero and things like that. So, but by all stretches of the imagination, that's no means for the neglecting your kids and stuff, right? And this one, the art here by Abel, I'll tell you, I've really enjoyed the art in this book as well. A lot of kind of the clean lines and even the looks within this book as well. I have enjoyed, and the coloring in here as well by Chris O'Halloran. Just some really good stuff. So kind of a family superhero drama unfolding here in Rogue Sun, and I gotta tell you, I've really enjoyed Rogue Sun so far, and kind of seeing how it's tying into the massive verse or the super massive verse or the radiant verse. I don't know, man. But let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below if you have read Rogue Sun issue number 2 and what you think about it. I want to know all those thoughts down there in the comments below and how it ties into Radiant Black and this whole series. I want to know all your thoughts down there in the comments below. And once again, ladies, thank you all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for being here today. Make sure that you smash that like button and share this video out with your friends and tell them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. And I'll get into this last book right before I tell you that this video is brought to you by the Myrtle Maniacs, our channel members, the people who help support this channel with their hard-earned dollars. One of the things I do with the channel membership money is I use that to go out and crowd fund comic books, and we pick different projects out there and support them. And I actually do about every 3 months a giveaway for one of our channel members, and we are getting ready to draw a name at the end of this month or the beginning of next month, like right there. And for another member giveaway, we are giving away Chapter 7 of La Muerta. This is La Muerta Onslaught by Coffin Comics. We will be giving away. I think I thought I had it here somewhere, and maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. I thought I had it here. I apologize, but we're giving a copy away of this, one of the books that we crowdfunded. And to one of our lucky channel members, we've got other giveaways that we're doing as well. Like we are going to be giving away the copy. Oh, where's that? I got this one here. We got The Lion and the Eagle. This is issue number 1. This is the Aftershock Comics Happy Hour exclusive variant from Mike Ruth. We will be giving away a copy of that. But to get entered into that, you got to go watch the video and find out how to get entered. So yeah, there we go. There we go with that. And, you know, so that's why you should be subscribed and have those notifications turned on. Like the video too, or you can dislike it. It's all good. And share it out. Share it out with your friends. Tell them to come hang out here. And you know what? If you do it on the social medias and you tag us here on the channel at Second Street Marvel, maybe we'll get you an extra entry into any of those giveaways. I don't know. Sounds like something cool. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the last couple of books that I have to talk about this week. And this one right here is on Boom Studios. This is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 21. Erica Slaughter returns. Yes, she returns to another small town, this time the town of Tribulation, New Mexico, where a young girl named Gabby has just witnessed her whole family murdered in front of her. She is taken by the local sheriff and dropped off with a family member who obviously runs a bar, as the sheriff is there to have a drink to maybe kind of forget some of the things that he had just seen. This story, while it was really good, I'm glad to see it return. This book seemed way too short. The way this story is unfolding, the pace at which it went. You know, we were so used to, I guess I was so used to how that first story arc there in Archer's Peak went, and it seemed like it unfolded really slowly. But now they've kind of laid all of that groundwork, and we are now getting really into this next story, this next town, as Erica Slaughter shows up at the very end of this book to help. They're in Tribulation, New York. I absolutely love this series way more than I initially did when it first started out. After the journey we have been on here, James Tynan IV doing a great job with the writing here. Werther Deladera, great job on the art, and with Miguel Muerto on colors. And you can see some of that work right here. We've also got who's on letters on this one? I want to say it was And World Design on this one as well. Yeah, And World Design on letters here in this book as well. And again, like I said, if you're not already reading the series, I have no clue why you're not reading it already. It's absolutely great. Definitely one worth checking out. You can find them on trade paperback. I know they've got the books that you can find, like book 1, Something is Killing the Children. It's got like the first 15 issues in there, worth every single penny. It's in a little bit larger format, but let me know down in the comments below if you have been reading Something is Killing the Children and what you think about it. I want to know all your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll move into this you know what? Let's get into the live chats and see what everybody's talking about really quick. I got this last book that we're not necessarily going to review as much as maybe discuss a little bit, right? Maybe we're just going to discuss it a little bit. Let's see who all oh man, of course. Okay, here we go. See who all we've got here in the chats. Okay. I see we've got my man Reefer Man Reviews and Will Morgan up in the building, 2 of the Myrtle Maniacs. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We got Two Gun Pedro. Pew pew. What is up, my man? And Brian McCann. Yes. Morning. Moon Knight was good. Yeah. You know what? I was really impressed. I would say I was impressed because I was really starting to get down on it, and I thought they did a pretty good job with the first episode. I'll tell you what's on my pull list this week, but then you wouldn't have much reason to watch the video. yeah. Because you're going to review them and stuff. Yeah. It was awesome so far. I have my ears on, but I'm driving, so I didn't talk much today. All right. Found it on the high seas. Yeah. Aggressively Relaxing says, I was so excited to see Heather's got a comic, but nope. Just Heathens. Yeah, I know. You thought it was Heather's. You thought you were gonna see Christian Slater in there, and nope. Romeo, my man, how are you doing? We are all in purgatory. Just a theory. I see what you did there. I like it. I'm working so hard on my new comic. Someone is banging something supernatural to cash in on this trend. Yes, absolutely. You've got to do the banging something supernatural like thing. That's what it's all about. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's the only way to go. Marvel should give Abomination a TV series. That'd be cool. I know he's going to be. I believe he's going to be returning more in some upcoming properties as well. There we go. Now it almost seems like. All right. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Let's just go. No, let's just bring it. I guess let's just bring it back out. Monster relationships are so hot right now. Mine is a leprechaun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trend, it has been there since cave. Oh man, Marvel set up a series starring Hulk, Abomination, and Doctor Yeah. The Marvel should do a lot of things. They should actually do a lot of things. Massive Verse rocks. Yeah, yeah. Relaxing like vultures over your head. Yes. Is that a comic about buzzard love? Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. How am I supposed to? How am I supposed to? Dang it! Just jumped on me. How am I supposed to never mind this conversation? I have a ton of questions. Like, was Caveman you referenced the newspaper strip? Oh, all right. Star Wars MCU OG, thank you so much for being here. I hope all's going well with you with your recovery and things like that. Hope you're getting the rest that you need to get recovered well. Um, still reading Power Rangers, but your enthusiasm makes me want to check out the Radiant Black stuff. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. Want more Wolverine comics? Pull list are all old comics, epic collections, and omnibuses. Yeah, I'm there with you, Brian McCann. Aside from indies, I still get the indies. Quentin Lee, thank you so much for being here. I think I seen you dropped another episode of your podcast. Can't wait to check that out. I've gotten through a couple of them so far. Very good stuff, guys. Make sure you go check out the I believe it's Quentin Time podcast. Yes. Yeah. Hulk Wolverine character was awesome. You guys are the only friends I have. Sad but true these days. My real life friends scattered to the wind, and we never speak. Thankful to have you guys in my life. Yes, absolutely, Reefer Man. Absolutely. Radiant Black and the other books are 6 so far. Dig it? Yeah. Those appear in She-Hulk series. Yep. Thanks for feeling better. All right. Good deal. Hell yeah. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. So, guys, one of the things I wanted to kind of talk about here is, I don't really read a whole lot of modern Marvel books these days. And I mean, mostly because I read enough indie books, and that's that's enough. Because believe me when I say, you guys see my pull list, there's times when I get quite a bit of these indie books in. I don't really read Marvel and DC anymore, and not necessarily like they're terrible or they're woke or anything like that. Just there's less there that interests me than any of their old stuff. I've been collecting some of the omnibuses and things like that, the epic collections, like Brian McCann has said. But I've been doing that mostly with the Marvel stuff. And, well, so I seen this book on the shelf yesterday. I was like, all right, well, we're gonna bite. We're gonna bite. And I know there's some son of a bitch out there like Brian McCann who's gonna be like, Trinity, what were you thinking? But I picked this up right here. Captain Marvel, issue number 37. And look, it's jump on now for a new arc. Jump on now for a new arc. I'll tell you after reading this book, don't jump on now for a new arc. Jump on the next issue if you're going to. Not this one. This issue right here is the intermediary between bridging the gap between what happened in the last story arc and going into the next one. This story is pretty much a few characters going out, assaulting and battering people for hurtful words. Oh, not. And and eating food. I think it's just so funny. Like, obviously everybody's been talking about it since Sunday. This whole thing that gone on with Will Smith and the slap, right? The slap heard around the world during the Oscars, and kind of how all that went down. And it's been chopped up here on social medias everywhere here over the past few days. And believe me, I'm sure everybody's probably tired of hearing about it. It's great to see the jokes and the memes, and like I don't mind hearing people's different opinions about it. So it's something pretty big because if you think about it, I mean, I've seen some of the other videos. Like everybody feels this, not everybody, but a lot of people feel the same way I do about kind of like man, like it's not even terrible, but it was kind of like it was a little violent, and it was kind of like really uncalled for and kind of shocking in that way in that way and not like it's like something horrible like we witnessed somebody get murdered on live TV or anything like that, but seeing kind of went down and then like thinking about it like kind of processing is like man like there's like it's maybe it's like is it an onion, does it have layers? Well, it's really no wonder. I mean, thinking about things out there, and this was kind of something I was talking about before. Where like, we get into things, and I know Tristan over at Nerdette's Newsstand had this stream that she did a while back, and I still haven't watched the full stream. But one of the questions she was asking is like, should comics and movies avoid like the culture war? And really, and my kind of response to that was like they really can't, because they are part of the culture. Comic books are really a large part of American culture, and that's the thing is like movies, comic books, music, things like this, they are art forms. Art is part of our culture as well. It's hard for them to avoid it. Should they avoid it? I don't think so. I think there's a time and a place for things like that to discuss all of these kinds of things. And there's certainly no better place than to express your opinions and feelings than through a piece of art, maybe in a comic book, maybe in a movie, maybe through a song, maybe through just a piece of art itself, a painting, a drawing. Absolutely. But the thing is, like, these things are part of our culture altogether. How we communicate, stories that we read that inspire us, that also show us cautionary tales as well. And so I think that's largely why you see things like comic books and movies being used like that. Now, the thing is, a lot of it gets kind of, I would say that a lot of it, people always talk about the politics in comic books and stuff like that. And ultimately, it really comes down to everybody knows the other thing too, the other argument, like, oh, comic books always been political. And largely, yeah, absolutely, because they are that art form. They are that thing where you can get out there and express how you feel and, kind of put that out, how you see the world and whatnot. But again, a lot of times the best writers can do these things and do them in a way that isn't beating somebody over the head with a message or preaching to them or telling them how to feel about a certain thing or telling them how to act upon certain things. They are there to get you to hopefully a little bit of an insight and an experience into what somebody else is thinking or feeling. And good writers can do that and make it provocative and still make you think. Maybe not with changing your mind, but making you just maybe stop to think just a little bit. So it's really hard for these forms to not be involved with the culture because they are part of our culture and they are definitely a part of that culture war, if you will, because you can see like a lot of stuff out there, I'm not gonna say everything, is definitely a little bit more leaning to one more kind of political way of thought. It's a lot of them are a little bit more liberal, more so than you're gonna find conservative stories or views in comic books and things like that. And I'm not really worried either way. I just read books and I like them or I don't, because I do realize that plenty of these books have those political messages or like allegories in them and things going on in the real world. I'm okay with that. But again, like I said, there's a time and a place. And again, these things all affect the way we see the world, the way we take in the world, and because they are the things that are put into the world that kind of we see, we hear, we see people thinking and doing things. That's why the thing with like Will Smith was kind of a big deal. It was kind of a big deal. You seen a man walk up on stage, assault and batter another man for making a joke, something the guy gets paid to do. And look, I get it if the guy was offended or whatnot. Look, I get that. I understand that. I'm not here to necessarily discuss that, but the fact that we see it on live TV, and even though people are shocked, it's kind of one of those things like people like is like there's plenty of people out there like this is not okay, but young impressionable minds and even just other minds out there probably see things like this and be like, well, if Will Smith did it, so and so did it, it must be okay. He apologized. It's okay. Right? If you do something bad, make yourself look bad, and you apologize, everything will be okay. Just give an apology. Right? Well, here in this issue, like I want to say it's like the third page. I mean, is it the third page? It's probably the fourth. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's the fourth page. We get into this Captain Marvel book, and here's exactly like what we see is we see this guy walk up here after the battle. After the we've got Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, and Binary here all standing together having a conversation. And this man walks up and says, "You'd look better in a nice skirt." And what happens is Binary is, just decides to up and punch him, knock his ass out right in the middle of for saying that they'd look good in skirts. That they'd look better in a nice skirt. Now, look, I get how some person, anybody, might hear that and be like, "Oh my God, this toxic male." So I'd like, "Oh, don't you know I don't even like men?" And yeah, like, look, I get that. The cat calling and all that. I feel you. I feel you. But again, it comes down to the same kind of thing where somebody's words are making you overreact in a situation and do something foolish for something that's, let's face it, it's relatively harmless, right? A guy saying that that these women would look better in skirts. It's a harmless statement. You got the superhero that just fucking punches him in the face and knocks him the fuck out. Now, I'm not gonna make the argument or anything that this book is made for kids or anything. I'm not gonna make that argument because certainly we can see that there are adults out there in the world that still read comic books and that still do and overreact on things like this. I'm not innocent of it. I've overreacted before. I'm sure we all have. But not in the sense where somebody has said something to me that hurt my feelings so much that I felt the need to go punch somebody in the face. Now I'll tell you, when we were kids, obviously kids, you get a little bit of alcohol in them and their friends, you get them together, and of course, you get some squabbles with friends and stuff like that when somebody's had a little too much. But for the most part, I can't say that anything outside of a lot of that, like there's like people get lashing out at each other like that. Believe me, plenty of that happened when I was a kid. I've seen plenty of it, got into plenty of it. But the thing is, like, that's people were drunk and it's not an excuse. But here we've got people just saying words to each other. It's like, to me, relatively harmless. But I mean, was that even like a misogynistic kind of comment? Maybe so. I mean, I didn't hear him say you'd look better in skirts because I want to see your nice legs and maybe see them ass cheeks popping out. I didn't see like that. But I mean, like, I don't know. Some women look good in skirts. Some women look good in what are those things everybody those leggings and everything. Some people definitely shouldn't be wearing them. But altogether, I think for the most part, it's something pretty harmless. And here's what you got. But you also have people out there that are slaves to their emotions, and they act upon them, and that's not necessarily a good thing at all. What is it they always say? Cooler heads prevail, right? Cooler heads prevail. But I don't know. To me, I just think it's once again another kind of thing that you're seeing there, and it's like, okay, like this, like, is this okay? Like, are we normalizing this? And and no, they didn't have this planned as some sort of a statement to what went on at the Oscars, because this book is. I just picked it up yesterday, so like obviously, you know, they didn't print it and everything and get it to us like that. But the point being is, it's these kinds of things that make people feel like it might be okay to walk up and on stage and slap a comedian for making a joke while he's admittedly doing some stand up. And also, like, it's okay to just go up to people and fucking knock them out for saying that you look good in a skirt. I think the only thing they didn't do, the only thing they didn't really do, I think it must have been like they need to talk to their art department. They need to talk to their art department. You know why? Because look, they forgot to make sure that he had a red fucking hat on. They forgot to put that he had a red fucking hat on. Isn't that what he's supposed to do? He's supposed to have a red hat. He's supposed, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to have a red hat. But anyway, guys, let's get back here into the chats. See what you all are saying. I know. Look, I know. All right, okay. I know Aglax is gonna have fun with this one. Let's see, where we at? Thanks, man. Your episode is next Wednesday. Nice. All right, hell yeah. Make sure you guys go check that out. I was there flapping my gum for about an hour. It was a great time. Denver's Marvel, at least the cover art looks female. Yeah, you know what? And like in this book, like a lot of the art in this book actually looks pretty good. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, I think the art in this book for the most part actually looks pretty good in itself. I have no real complaints about the art in here. I mean, you got like Carol Day, like she looks a little different here, where she's looking goofy and silly than she does in in a lot of the other like parts in this book. But for the most part, like I don't really mind most of the art in this book. It's really not too bad. Who did the art in here? Julius Ota. Yeah. The art itself not bad. I mean, you know, I'll show you a little bit more of that. Yeah, the art itself not bad. I can't complain about that. Update on your bicycle hunt. Did you find a new one yet? I've had one. I built a bike to get me through until my new one comes in. The thing is, like like the bike that I'm after, I can't just walk into any store and pick it up. Especially at this point. At this point, it's very much like I have to order it and wait until it gets here, kind of thing. It's not anything about a hunt at all. Why roast comedy? Why roast comedy is fun because someone in the audience might get mad enough to slap you. Meryl Streep don't need this shit in her life. Stop trying to turn it into a roast. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Question: how's powers and weaknesses you rather have in real life? Deadpool, Moon Knight, Morbius, Deathlock, or Ghost Rider? What? Whose powers or weaknesses would you rather have in real life? None of those. Give Trinity his enchanted mummy suit ASAP. Is that a challenge to get you to punch us? Hungover? Oh, okay, yeah. This is just diet misogyny. diet, diet misogyny. All right. It's misogyny light. It's misogyny light. Yeah. Or no. Hey, here you go. Aglax, it's misogyny ice. Pick it up today. Misogyny ice. Oh man, if you're always hungover, hi, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, besides yours is this misogyny question. Honestly, besides yours, this misogyny question, which is hilarious. You make a really good point. So much of our media has the good guy solve issues with violence. Yeah. You know, like, look, sometimes sometimes you have to get violent, but it's not the answer. It's really not the answer. You know what I mean? It's not the answer. Maybe it's the thing that has to get somebody to listen up or whatever, but it's really not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, yeah. It really doesn't solve the issue. Who the hell is Danvers' binary looking character? Yeah, I don't know. I know you don't follow MMA, but George Masvidal hit a guy backstage, and they put him on the cover of the video game for it. And you're right, I don't follow MMA, but anyway, guys, that's all I've got for today's comic book reviews, the morning after new comic book day. I want to thank you all so much for being here today. I believe tonight channel members will probably get together and build some more of this Lego Batmobile. We've also got to continue on some Moon Knight reading as well. Either tonight, maybe tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Friday already. Jeez. Time's flying by, right? But anyway, thank you all so much for being here today. You all have a very good day. Let me know down in the comments below what's on your comic book pull list. What did you think about all of these other things that I was talking about as well? Let me know all your thoughts down there, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.